Now, welcome to another weekend ramble, where this time the topic is going to be...
Weird questions.
Okay.
Oh, should I elaborate? These are weird questions that I came up with when I've watched all the trailers and everything, all the promotional material for Ahsoka, and I just have some questions, and they're probably a little weird, but I have them anyway.
Okay.
And I'm just curious if other people have these same questions.
They might not if they're truly weird.
Okay, first off, Ahsoka. This is about her aesthetics, her look.
Oh boy.
I know
I
that in the
one.
first part of Mandalorian, people were not happy with her aesthetic. They said that her head tails were too short as compared to where we saw her in the Rebels epilogue.
Yeah.
I have further questions. I know they extended them for this show as per fan request. But my further question goes to, in the Clone Wars animated series, the Mortis arc specifically has Ahsoka alone, and she has a vision. She has a vision of her older self warning her about her future if she stays with Anakin. In this vision, her head tails are super long, more along the line of a Shak Ti.
Yeah. Normal to Gruta length, essentially.
Yes.
As far as we know.
So one could say in this vision that Ahsoka had of her adult self, she definitely had her long head tails. But then we move into Tales of the Jedi animated show. With the birth episode, the one with baby Ahsoka,
Yeah.
all of the adult Togruta who are there have short head tails, similar to what adult Ahsoka has now in her new show.
So she comes from a short tribe.
Yes, but why would she have a vision of herself with long head tails if she didn't think that that's how she was going to turn out?
I've got an answer for you.
Retconning?
The only Togruta... Better one. The only Togruta she's ever really known and seen would be, or seen often, would be Shak Ti.
But she probably knows the planet she came from. A lot of them did.
Well, she may or may not, actually. She probably doesn't know the particular tribe, per se, that she comes from, or village.
I don't know. The vision came through the Force.
So if she sees...
The Force lied to her?
So if she sees a Shak Ti frequently and has this vision, which is not necessarily... it could be kind of pulled from her mind and manipulated, as we see, that there is a purpose behind it that is nefarious. They're just pulling her image of herself, which has been based on Shak Ti instead of what she will actually look like.
Let's just go with what I said.
I think actually mine's pretty solid.
It's pretty solid, but I feel like this could be
I think
him
it's a Dave Filoni
retconning
retcon, sure, but...
to try and go, look, she has shorter head tails because all of her people have shorter head tails. It's just
she
like
comes
there's
from the short tribe.
multiple tribes of Zabraks.
Sure. Some have longer horns than others.
Some have females of their species, some don't.
Sure.
Because Night Brothers don't. Dathomiri and Zabrak are all dudes.
Sure. But I actually think it's not a bad explanation here.
All right.
If I do say so myself. We'll let the comments decide.
The comments actually inspired this question.
I thought it did, yeah. I thought I saw this kind of question or comment in one of them.
Okay. My next interesting question. How does Balon, as an Order 66 survivor, feel about working with Marok the Inquisitor?
How does Marok feel about working with him? Why are we taking Balon's side in this? He's supposed to hunt and destroy the Jedi.
You know why I'm asking it this way.
Well, they make, as the saying goes, strange bedfellows here.
Yeah, it just feels really awkward, and I'm hoping that we get an answer to this in the show, because why?
Well, I mean, Balon is not
a survivor.
The ways of the Jedi anymore.
No, and he became a mercenary, most likely out of necessity.
Sure.
I'm sure at one point he was probably hunted or came in contact with an Inquisitor, because they weren't even hunting Maul. They don't specify if they want good or bad. They're killing Force users.
Well, it also, Marok has experienced hunting and killing Jedi, so how does he feel about it too? Again, it's a strange interaction, but the Empire's gone, Palpatine's gone, Vader's gone.
There's it even feels weird for me that Morgan Elsbeth is working with the Empire.
Why? Because
her, Mother Talzin and her people were wiped out during the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
By pretty much the Empire.
Sort of.
Sort of.
Depends on your point of view on that.
The Separatists were the ones who attacked, theoretically, but Palpatine was involved heavily in this.
Maybe she thinks Palpatine didn't pull the strings on this one. It's hard to know just how much everybody kind of grasps how manipulative Palpatine was, too, that he was in control of both sides. I don't think that's actually something that's really well known or thought about.
Right. But I think Balon would have some reservations. I mean, Kanan didn't want to work with the clone troopers.
Sure.
Even after he was told repeatedly about the chip, and You know, he didn't want to work with them, but Balon's like, I guess I work with Inquisitors now. They hunted down and killed a bunch of my friends.
We haven't seen the show. They could be butting heads. They could have words for each other.
They could. This is why these are weird questions going in, because I'm hoping the show can supply answers to some of these questions.
Sure, it's probably not. It's probably going to gloss over that.
It's probably not even going to mention the fact that those two would have been enemies.
Yes.
That Balon would probably hate Inquisitors because they hunted and killed his kin.
Yeah, well, we don't know Balon's story at all. I mean, how long was he in hiding? Did Order 66 happen and the next day he's like, whatever, I'm going to go be a
he didn't
kind of
care.
a bounty hunter now. I mean, I'm sure that's not the case, but you get my point. Like, we don't know Balon's story.
I mean, he could have lost a Padawan to Order 66.
I'm going to guess he did. He's
what if
got to be something. No. I don't think that's it.
Was his Padawan?
I guess that's
it
possible.
It could have been. They could have stolen away his Padawan and made him into an Inquisitor, because it's not like that didn't happen to others, like Trilla.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll have to see.
I'm really hoping they do some in-depth development with Balon and hopefully with Marok as well.
Don't hope for too much.
I know, hope for too much.
You got to cut out the boring parts so we can get to the action. Filoni told us.
All right, and here's my last weird query. Jason Syndulla.
Why does he have brown hair?
Black hair. I think they gave him
black.
The Lego gave him black hair.
Should be green.
Yeah, but that's not the question.
You made your bed, you got a lie in it.
All right, so he was born in 0BBY, so he should be around 9 years old here in the series. Yeah. We know there was like the one trailer that they released that they never showed the footage anywhere else, that we think he's got the Force.
What if that wasn't
he's pulling
him?
a cup?
We're assuming.
It's a small hand.
Oh, I was gonna say, what if that's Sabine doing Force stuff?
I don't know. No, it was a small hand. I thought it was like child-sized ish.
Okay, child-sized.
Okay,
hand,
so if he has the Force. Obviously
his
father was a Jedi.
The epilogue confirms that he is like his father, I believe is the wording of it. So implies heavily Force sensitive.
Why isn't he at Luke's training camp?
Training camp? What is this?
We know very well at this time Luke is looking for students. He even accepted Grogu as his student, and then Grogu left.
What do you mean even accepted Grogu? Like Grogu is like the star. You go and recruit Grogu, and Luke did go and recruit Grogu, if you remember.
But why isn't Jason Syndulla already in his school? I mean,
Hera might not want him to be in the school. Like, that's the thing.
But Hera was friends with Leia.
That doesn't mean she wants him to be a Jedi. Perhaps she sees Kanan's fate and doesn't want that for her son.
You need to be trained, and she understood that about Kanan.
Well, sure. My point is, people get this weird misconception about the Jedi of old, that they would like just go and steal children in the night. No, like the parents could say no, and the Jedi would be like, all right, well, that's it. We're on our way. Like, they didn't like steal babies. So if Hera says no, then that's a no. Now maybe Jason, when he's older, can change his mind and get some training.
My only thought on it was maybe Disney doesn't want us to know who the students were exactly that Kylo may have killed.
May have killed. He did kill some of them, and some got away and then
killed
them
but that's
anyway.
Not wide knowledge. Yeah. That's comic knowledge.
That is comic knowledge, which can be changed.
I mean, especially as soon as everyone thought that Grogu and Luke were sticking together, everyone's like,
what happens to Grogu? Did Ben kill him?
Was Grogu at the school when Kylo Ren... And everyone went there right away, so why wouldn't we do the same thing with Jason Syndulla?
And when you said that to me, I'm like, the one reason why we know Grogu wasn't there is he probably beat Ben Solo, right?
He might. He force heals all the other kids.
Grogu's...
He's like, no one's ever really gone.
And I can prove it, because I can bring him back. But I mean, I got to imagine that if Grogu's got some old school prequel era Jedi training, he gets some training from Luke for 20 years, Ben goes dark side on him, like, who's winning that fight? I put my money on Grogu.
Grogu.
Yeah.
Grogu probably wouldn't have lashed out on him in his sleep either.
Don't go there.
But I feel like maybe Disney just doesn't want us to know the specific Jedi who were there. Like,
they don't want you to know that.
Wouldn't you as a fan be upset if you thought Kanan's child was killed by Kylo Ren at Luke's school?
Yes.
I feel like they're happier with us being faceless
for
students.
Now. Eventually you got to give those answers though, right? I mean, if you're going to keep
there'll
the
be some random
canon,
reference book that does it.
Well, I mean, we have seen, like, again, there is a comic that deals with this, and we've seen some of them that were there, but we don't have, like, names and specifics. We don't know what happens to... We have no clue what happens to Jason Syndulla.
No, we have no clue.
I mean, he's probably got the Force. He's probably got it, Force sensitive enough to be a Jedi, I'm guessing.
That's why I thought he should be at Luke's training school, because Luke wanted students.
Maybe he will be. Maybe that's
Leia
part
was
of the
like,
story.
Hey. Oh, it could be.
He could be Luke's first...
That might be why we don't see him on the adventure, because he's getting sent off to Luke's school.
It could be.
Because Luke lost his only student.
Well, I mean, think about it. Like, it could be that Hera's like, I'm going to go with Sabine and Ahsoka. What do I do with Jason? And all of a sudden, Ahsoka's like, well, Luke made the school. He lost his first student. He's got
There's an opening.
Yeah, there's an opening. He got Ben Solo, who's a little sketchy, but maybe we can bring Jason in. They can be friends.
Gosh, what if baby Ben was in this?
I mean, they're almost the same age. Jason
They would be close,
Jason would be
yeah.
like a year older or 2 years older than Ben. So
They could go to school together.
no, wait, a couple of years old. Actually, no, he'd be much
few
older.
years.
What am I thinking? More like because Ben should be about 4 at this time. So about 5 years older.
Yeah, he's about
Do
5
the
years
math
older.
wrong.
They're still close in age.
Yeah, roughly.
Well, those are all the weird questions I have come up with right now.
Those are really weird questions.
They're
They're
little-
curiosities.
They're curiosities, but they're things I would like answers to.
And you may get them.
I might get
That's
some
the
of
thing.
them.
The head tails. You're not. That's just
No, that was Filoni retconning, and I don't care what you say.
No, it was Ahsoka
No.
seeing the future based on Shakti.
No, it was a retcon.
Yeah,
we all
well,
know it was a retcon.
That's fine. I don't. I'd rather them shorten them than see Rosario Dawson literally tripping over them and trying to.
I don't know, that
They
could've
just
been
look
entertaining.
wonky.
It would look wonky, but sometimes aliens in Star Wars have to be.
Well, sure, but you know what I mean. Like I'm okay with that change because I understand that it was just necessary to make it feasible.
I always wondered that about Twi'leks too.
What about him?
If their head tails keep growing. I mean, we see a lot of adult females that, they kind of stabilize it where they've got them.
Yeah.
But, like, Bib Fortuna is so long, he had to, like, wrap it around his
Yeah,
neck. Like, I don't know.
Bill Fortuna was well hung. Let's say that. And then
You're done.
And then he
Wrap
got
this
very
up.
large in other places too.
You're wrapping this up. You're done.
I loved Bib Fortuna in Book of Boba Fett, or actually as a Mandalorian, but I loved Fat Bib. I don't know why, but that's just seemed. He should have died on the sail barge, but he didn't. So he ate himself, got on the throne. I don't know. I'm getting off topic, but yes, Bib Fortuna was well hung, and that's where we'll end this video. All right, that's all we got for you this time. Now it's your turn to take to the comments below and tell us what you think of any of these questions or curiosities. What do you think the answers are? Do you think we'll
Do you have
get
any
them
of
in
your
the
own
show?
weird questions?
Yeah,
going
what are your own
into
weird
the show?
curiosity questions or just questions in general?
Keep them fun.
Yeah, well, or just keep them whatever. Whatever they might be, take to the comments below. Let's talk some Star Wars. And until next time, thanks for watching.